Welcome back to Shapes 2. My name is Nilaus and we are unlocking trains. Ta-da! We're unlocking trains. So, we know you've been waiting for these huge amounts of shapes over long distances. The dream of every operator. Absolutely true. And we get some new shapes here that we can do. We get 500 points here. And then we get trains, train launchers. Nice. Quick stop. That's one new type of stock. And there's another one we can unlock. Shape unloader. A loader, catcher. That's belong here, and the red rail configurator, because you can only use red rails right now. And then we get wagons. Then you can see, and then we have something new we have to make. Also now over here we actually have this one. Oh wow, it actually accumulates it before we even got there. Oh nice, that's a lot of points we got. Nice. Right, so what is it we want? Well, these are 50 each. That's kind of pricey, so we're going to leave that a little bit there. We can unlock the third floor, but that's, I mean, it's as nice as it is. I think it's much more important for us to increase the train capacity, unlock the primary colors. That one. I don't need the transfer station right now. I don't need this one. I would like the wait one, but I don't really need it right now. I think I want more speed and I want more capacity. How many points do we have left? 26. So we can kind of hold back on this. We could also just get this one up and this one. Yeah, let's get these two up. There we go. So now we wasted all our points. Great. Let's look at our tasks. We'll get some tasks scheduled here as well. There we go. That's the first 3 tasks. So what are we going to do today versus what are we going to do next time? Well, this time what we're going to do is we are going to focus on building a train setup. Not a final train setup, but just, you know, just kind of how we want the trains to work. And now I just realized something. I actually wanted this to be... I wanted this to go in here. And let's see. This is a wagon. No, it's a station. An unloading station. This is a unloader. They're big. And flip. 1, 2, 3. This is how I'd like it to be. But I can also see that that might be a little bit of an issue here. Because we want to get stuff in on these trains. And having it on 2 trains is just fine. But that would require us to... Let's see how about that. That would be down here. These inputs here, 15 points. And then whatever the last one is to get us all the way up to 12. Which would be nice, so we can get all of this in here. However, that's not really possible right now. So the question is, do I want 2 of these? Or do I want them like... Oops. Like here. 3. And then this one can go... in here, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. Copy, rotate, like, oh yeah, okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a problem, but we need a station then. Yeah, get up in the right level. We can also think about like having multiple levels for trains, and if we look at it here, they go up and down the trains weirdly enough, but no, that's not a train lane. Well, that was weird. 3 here. Go down and go up. So that actually also works. So that's nice. What I want to do though is I want to be able to get trains in on this side and then get them in here. And I also want trains to come in on this exact vertical and then go in here. So that's important for us that we have options on each side, and I'll do the same thing on this one as well. This one is here. And you get a... That one goes out here. Like that. And then we want this to go in. Why am I just completely failing to build rails when I want to build rails? 3 is rails. So I want to get there. There we go. I was kind of weirded out why it didn't... Okay, here and here. Great. And this one's coming in like that. And I'm also going to get in here. So basically what this does is basically saying at each of the orthogonal directions, I want a train line in. Later on, we'll get it in a little bit better way, but we also have to be a little bit mindful not to end up in an unfortunate rotational symmetry. Here, go down and over. And that one is coming in. So this is going to be the first part so that we know, okay, we can get the trains in on either of the cardinal directions. Good. then we are going to be finding somewhere we want to build something. And since I'm lacking for points, that's actually going to be my main priority. Trying to look at this shape, for example. Yeah, it looks like it has... It's a turtle. I'm just kind of seeing what kind of things we want. It's a lot of wedges, some curves, and a single spike and a single square. But aside from that, it's wedges and circles. So let's find somewhere we can allow ourselves to go further out, because the great thing about Rails, one of the many great things about Rails, is they don't take any platform points to build Rails. So you can see no Rails, no cost, but here it costs 6. So each of these costs like half each. This one is 6 platform points. This is just alone, no platform points. So means that you can go however far away you want. So we found a good spot for what we want. If we look at the final form of this one, as I was just going through it here, all the stuff we need here in the square across from a spike and the wedges and the curves here, all of that is great. And I have it this part here, and I have it here, and I have that here. And I'm just looking at this one and go like, that's actually pre-printed green. That is absolutely insanely good. Wow, I should take this one instead, even though it needs to go a little bit further. Yeah, let's do that. So, but not for the first one. So basically the first shape is just half of this one plus the diagonal from here. Easy. And we're going to do everything now with 8 lanes instead of 4 lanes. So this is actually going to be the first of the new 8-lane blueprints here. We're going to be doing it in a slightly different from the early game, where we actually now have mining. Then I have, they are empty right now. I'll have mining, rotating, cutting, swapping, stacking, and trains, and then 2 more. And then I have the early game ones, because those are the ones we're going to be adapting today to fit into the 8-lane. But I'm not going to be deleting these, because if you're starting out, then you might want to do the early game. And I think I'd rename those early game 4 lanes, so that it becomes more clear what it's actually about. And then this will be 8 lanes, and then I'll switch them all over to 12 lanes when that becomes relevant. Next, what we really need to do is actually go into this part here, and then take our diagonal cut, that one, and then see if it's the right cut we do. It actually doesn't really matter if it's the right cut, because we're just going to rotate it. But this one needs to be upgraded to a 8-lane design. That's going to be like this. And then, as much as I want to do it, I have to paint it north in order for me to save it. Here, save, and then we'll save this one. And now we also do the rotating, and again, since this is rotating clockwise, then I'm actually going to make more of this and also save these as variants under the rotating part. And we get the other one in. That's just using our blueprint to cover that. And then we need yet another blueprint. That's going to be under stacking, and that's actually going to be over here. That 8-lane stacker is actually misplaced, so we'll just move it over to the other parts. So that means it's going to go out of this location and go into here. Yes, and that goes into stacking, that one. So with our final shape, we now have to make it into some kind of train network, and then go over to the train and figure out how that's going to be. We're going to be getting a loading station here, and this is going to be really simple. So we'll also just go how it works. We set these 3 loading stations here. That was interesting. And how does that not work? Oh, because they are not the right kind of stations. There we go. That's why it gets so weird. Stations. I need shaped loader, right? Load, right? And that goes. Oh, this is now going 1 down. Wow, this level thing just needs to get a little bit more comfortable with it. I haven't really come up with like excellent ideas for what to put on lower levels and what to put on higher levels. So far, I'm using the levels just more as bypasses and not as sort of, oh, I'm going to be able to thing at. So if you have great ideas for what to put on various levels, be sure to let me know. We're going to be putting a red train in, and we're actually going to be putting 2 more just because that's what you need as extra. And they each need to have 3 train wagons. That's going to be like this. Great. That is going to be like the default station we are going to be using for all of these brought in here, I think. And is it coming in? It's only barely coming in, and then of course it's going to take forever to get this. And I will now bring it into like that. And we remove the other one. So it's like a really simple one. It just goes in and then merges back on the main line. Really, really easy. Okay, then we'll just wait and see how that goes. So the way the trains work in this game now, or in this update, is that they build it into packages. And each of these packages is 180 shapes per package, and that won't change. But the amount of packages each train can handle is getting upgraded. And we got it upgraded to, let's see, where's the points? Here. Well, anyway, there. We got it updated to 3, right? They have now train capacity 3. That means I can actually hook up one train here, and as soon as that works, it'll come in here, pick up this for the 2 levels, and off we go. And I can also build another one, which obviously isn't going to work right now. So this is one of those things where better train control would be nice, because I'd really like this to be when this goes all the way in. That's a long way. So when it's at the maximum distance away, that's when I want the next train to come in. But there's no way for me to do that automatically, or sort of have them evenly spaced out. It's very likely that they'll always be sort of chasing right after each other. So I have to do that manually when setting it up, and then sort of hope that it keeps balancing itself. Because right now this station is just what they call a wait station, a quick stop station, where it just goes in, picks up what there is, moves on. We can get more advanced ones as we progress and get use spend point on it. So this one working, and we're going to be moving on to the next of these shapes, and that's going to be this entire shape, which means there is a curve and a wedge across from each other, and then a little bit of spikes and a little bit of curves and wedges and stuff like that. But mainly it's the curve across from the wedge, which is something we literally have right here, and we have green shapes there, and we have the spikes right here, and we have the boxes there. Oh, look at that, it comes in quickly now. So we do have everything around here that we need. We even have some, what does this shape also have? Like some squares across from each other, some wedges across. We got everything we need. So that is going to be the place we want to build the next shape. And this is going to be a simple one. And again, we're going to be using our blueprints to see which ones are actually still valid. This one. Then we're going to be using the cutter here, and then see if that's the right thing it cuts. It is the right thing it cuts. It's just, it's also marked correctly. So this one just needs to be painted green, which is not a problem, except that we don't have a green design yet. So we're going to be going over to the early game, and what was that? That was, oh wow, that was quick. Yeah, okay, that got done really quick. Just one train coming in, maybe 2 trains, I don't know. There, these 2, and then that's going to be built as well as a blueprint as well. And of course our beautiful paint design will also be put up into 2 levels here. And of course, I probably mentioned this before, but this is just so you know, these blueprints are of course available to patron supporters. So if you're a patron supporter, you can just download all these blueprints that we're making ready here. But they are just comprised of the stuff that we already built in the previous ones. It's just for convenience made it into 8 lanes as well. And then of course by now we should also have a train station as a blueprint like this, which just comes in and then gets the shapes in. And then we get, let's see, there. And that goes in again to the same line. And now we have a problem because, oh, right. Yes. Definitely a problem here. These should not be green. Yeah, there needs to be another color, otherwise they get mixed up. There. Good. So that means the blue one is now coming out here. So these blue ones are going to be filling up, and they will then also go back, and that will get us the next milestone. Let's get the third of the tasks started, and that's going to be here. This one, the blue one here, and I'm just looking at the final shape just to see all the what it's comprised of. It's comprised of mainly wedges, a jellyfish, and then some components of the jellyfish together with some wedges. So as long as we have a jellyfish and some wedges nearby, then that's going to be a place. So this is going to be where we are going to be building it, and you know, it's going to be half of that one, and this first shape is 2 levels and it's painted blue, so we're gonna also need some blue color. That's a little bit far away, but whatever, we can get it in. So we're now getting the jellyfish, which needs to be cut. And that means we need to probably have a rotator first, and then we're going to have a cut. And I don't have the cut ready, so we're going to have to get that from the original here. Split side by side. That's not actually what I want. I want to cut the side. Huh, that's funny. I don't have that. Well, that should be like the easiest thing to make. But I'm going to make it facing north, because otherwise I go crazy. So I'm actually going to be doing this thing, and then we're going to be making like this. Oh, right, we do have... Oh, of course we don't have the cuts. Right, that makes sense. Because it's basically just this one, but with cutters in between. There. So we'll just do a... Not even a cut, but a half destroyer. Just to make sure that we get the nomenclature correct. That one, that's the half destroyer. And then, of course, we'll save that as well. So the beauty of this is that now we can actually just see, okay, so I know now that it will destroy the western half. So I just delete everything in here. So it'll destroy the western half. That means I need to take whatever this one is doing and then turning it so that what I don't like is facing towards the west, which means I can use, I can't even get closer. This here is then rotating it clockwise, anti-clockwise. Let's see if that was correct. Well, it's not correct if I misplace it, so yes. So that's how we do it with these elements. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. That was this one. Here I'm going to be deleting. That's not it. It was it was actually not this one. It was this one. Oof, this doesn't even have a lot of space left. Okay, we'll take this. And here I want to delete. I want to rotate it one counterclockwise. Rotate it one counterclockwise and then cutting it. Is that correct? Yes, then I get that. And then I will need to rotate it again because I need to get it back to the location. And that is counterclockwise again. There, counterclockwise, like that. And then I check this is positioned correctly. And I will look at this one up here. Are you positioned correctly? No, you're not. You also need to be rotated one counterclockwise, like that. And then you're positioned correctly. That means we now need to color these two. And I need to get them nearby because they're really far away. So just get them nearby and then color them. We could do something like... Let me think. This is a coloring inbound, so that would be the easiest way to make the paint. That one. Here. And then I'll also get the other one. No, that's not even correct. Here. And... use the blueprint. Like that. This goes in. Hold on, this is coming out. Oh, I think, oh, right, that's why I misplaced it like that. So it's coming out on this side, and then I need to merge it together. I need to put it, this one on top. We'll do it this way. There. And this will now come out, and I will then need to stack that up on something else. That is going to be the stacking here. Flip that here, and you are going to go in that, and that goes in. Good. And then all I need to do is get a way too long belt to get over here. Like that. And then the question is, does this make sense to put on a train? Yeah, it kind of does. Let's put it on a train here. And then we go in and get our train blueprint, which is facing north. That's lovely. And here I can't use these colors because here's a... Oh, it's actually working fine. I can use the red color for this. Good. So the red color is in. And here, trains are going in to that one. So we made a small change to this so that it actually works because I was missing the how the ins and outs works on this, but it also looks very nice. Now it comes in at these 3 block wide and then goes in here and makes the first blocks. And the first blocks are coming in. Each of those blocks were 1800, so that's 18 by 6. That's something. Good. So it actually was working, and we got the next one. So at this point, let's take a look at how we would expand it, because right now, where is it? Out here. It's really not, like, a train station is not a precious thing. Just go away with it. Don't care. What I do need is making this shape, which needs, I need a red diagonal and I need a white diagonal. So we're going to be taking this. Unfortunately, we can't take all it in one go, so we have to do it in 2 goes. So we'll take one, and that will do a diagonal cut. That is the diagonal cut here. I'll leave a space in because I don't know if I need something. It is the wrong one, so of course, perfect. So we go up here, rotate, and let's see. I want that. Okay. That rotation. Good. And that gets me the right shape. Kind of the right shape, but it still needs to be rotated one more time. There. So that now it is rotated the correct way. Great. Now this one, I need 2 of those, and one of them has to be turned red. So I'm gonna make one of them red, and that's the one that goes on the bottom. So there we go. That's gonna be red, and after they are turned red, then it'll be stacked so that it will be the uncolored one on top of, like that. And then I just need some red color, which unfortunately is all the way over here. Wow, that's miserable. But luckily, again, got the blueprints to speed things up. That one. And that's pricey. We could bring a little train to do that, but that's not something I really want to do. So that should turn it red, and then it'll be stacked on top. Then I need the whole thing here stacked on top of what I already have. So already here. That one goes straight in there, and then it gets stacked on top. And then we have the train station again, like that. And very subtle change there. And then that's how easy we actually set up the next step, this one. Let's go with the other one. That's this one here. What do we need? We need an uncolored shape on top of this green one we built first. So we need the same shape, and we need a spike or diagonal spike, a kunai, I would say. So this one is actually already getting with what we want. I'm just going to be loading it up here. And that should be, oh, there. That should somewhat be the same shape. Why is this not rotated? Okay, let me just go like this. So I'm facing north. Always face north. And then it is the correct shape. Perfect. This one needs to be merged together with, which is over here, stack. I'll flip it like that. And then that needs to be stacked together with basically a diagonal cut of this one. And then let's see if that's the right way. It cannot be. Nope. So this just needs a rotation like that, and inbound. And then this thing we just built has to be stacked on top of. We take this out and just basically just make it 2 further apart. Go to blueprints, go to stacking, flip it, and damn, this is easy. And that just needs to go there. The 2 just built haven't even started completing, but we are then getting the next one in here. So now we're actually at the point where we are designing these pretty quickly. So what is it compared to the first one? First one we had these 2 levels, so now we need a uncolored semicircle and a blue semicircle. That doesn't seem like the most difficult things to make. And I have the semicircle up here, and I need both an uncolored one and a colored one. So this might actually be a little bit more complicated because I need to, no, I will just do it a little bit different. I'll go in here, and then from here I will actually take the leap there. That means I actually have enough space. This one was cutting out only the spike, and now I need to do 2 more things that will each take out the other half. But I could use this one and split it, but I really don't want to do that if I can help it. I don't think I need it. So we're getting it out here on the back side for now, and we'll have the blue color in here as well. So let's stack these 2 and then stack them on top. I'm gonna take this train station out and put it there. That's actually a giant bad idea, because that just wasted points by just copying pasting it just to move it to the side. But whatever, I hope we're good. Anyway, we're going to be starting by rotating it, and then basically saying what is it we want. We want to rotate it clockwise so that the cutoff will be the tail of the jellyfish, that one. Then we're going to be doing a cutter, a side-by-side cutter, and let's see, yes, that is correct. Then we're going to be rotating it back again. And that's this one, there. So now they are rotated the correct way and the correct shapes. Then I need to paint one of them blue, and that's gonna be here. That will be the blue one, and then use our paint station here, and then stack them on top. It has to be the blue on top of the non-blue. So that is gonna be like this. And then this one will now have to go in and merge on top of the already existing one. Stacking here. And then it goes into the train station right there. And that's it, unless I made a mistake. And we also got another operator level in the meantime. These are just yummy 3 points. So these are now chugging along, and they will eventually complete. But what I would also like to do is this one. So I need this shape, and I need the wedge shape. I need over here, I need a spiky shape. And then in the end, I need to combine it all. And there's also this shape here, which is kind of like the second from the top. This uncolored one is kind of the same as that one. It's like taking this half and then rotating it. So that's all fine. But I think we want to do it sort of in a different way, because I found this spot here where I have the wedge, I have the whatever, and then I have a spike. And then this one can also be made into the other thing. But couldn't we just kind of make how would we make a station that is just taking all the other things onto that station? So basically, if we try to imagine that 1, 2, 3, okay, no, 1, 2, 3, and then this one will also be 4. Those 4 items will be brought into a single location for unloading. And then how does that work? How would that work? Because in this case, it's actually going to be pretty neat, because they are full levels. So it's just a matter of getting the level, coloring it, and then combining it. Look at that, it's completing. This was honestly quite an uneventful idea that I came up with for this particular thing, because honestly, there is nothing to it in this particular case. Because what we have is we just bring it in here, and we bring it back onto the main line. And there's a main line here. There we go. And then I'm gonna have to check the colors, because otherwise they get stuck in the wrong place. There. And this one goes in. Does it go in somewhere where it's combined? Yes, there's a red one here, so it has to be green and blue out here. Yes, perfect. All right. And where was my output line? There. Here's my output line. And this one needs to be, well, you know, since it is green, we might as well change these to green trains. There we go. And make sure that they can actually get anywhere by re-establishing this line here. There. So now it is connected all the way in. And then I'm going to make the blue line as well. That is, so this one's going to be one off. And then this one here, I think we'll just lower this. Like that. And then we're going to be using this train station again. Smash it in. Let's make these blue. blue stations. That looks good. Ah, that doesn't get deleted. Okay, and rails go all the way in to the main line. That's pretty far away, this part. There. So these two will now eventually get done, and then once they get done, then we'll take the two next levels and put on top, and probably just bring them in by trains. But in the meantime, we got something unlocked, more stuff unlocked. We got 26 points, and then we'll just have a look at what's the difference on this one. As far as I can tell, the bottom shape stays the same. The only difference is that we get the two red wedges combined in on this level. What about the next one here? This one is the same shape as before, but then we have the three wedges and a circle put on top, also green. And here, the only difference is actually just a little lower half of the helmet here. Before diving into the next milestones, let's take a look at what these ones are done. The tasks here, we're working on the next task. This is well underway, and basically what it just was that the only thing that we needed was just to merge another one of these for the lower half onto the second layer, which was pretty easy. And then over here you can see that we're just using the same patterns as always. This is just barely getting to work here. We needed that shape in here, and it's just kind of, you know, there's not much to it. It's just adding this, and of course there's some long lines here, but that doesn't matter as long as we have platform points, because once we complete these milestones, or not milestones, tasks, then we can destroy everything that we built so far. So that's pretty easy. What we want to do, is this one of the first ones coming in with the new setup, the correct setup? I hope so. Let's see. Is this the correct setup? No. Yes, it is. Okay, so that's the correct setup coming in. Great. And we now complete that one and then get into the final one. But that's not the one we're going to do. We're going to be going out here. We have a little bit of an issue with... where was it? That one? Yes. I built it in a little bit stupid way, so it didn't work. So now I have to wait until this accumulates again. It'll take some time to get to those 9,000. But in the meantime, let's together do the one we want here. This one, which means you need an uncolored version of this. So I'm going to be simply saying, okay, we're going to take this and we're taking the left half and cutting it out. We're going to take the 2 times the left half and then rotating one of them and smashing it together. That's going to be our location actually, and then we'll rotate it as well. We'll need some rotations. So let's see how that works with these designs. Do I want? Yes, I can do that. So here I get the design of this shape. This is not the shape I want, but I can then cut. I think I just cut the left half. No, I can't cut the left half because that's the only one I need. So we're actually going to start by rotating it. Rotate, rotate, and then we're going to be cutting, cutting, cut. These are not cutting. Cutting, cut, cut. Then let's have a look at what we have. We have that shape, which is the correct one, and then we have this shape, which is not the correct one. So all we need to do is take the 180 degree rotator. That's like this. And then we have the correct shape. Then we take our stacking, flip it like that. There. That will get us our shape that we need. This shape will then go. And wherever was it I said I wanted to go? Oh, I want to go over here. Could I just make a little teeny tiny train that does nothing but get over there? Let's do that. Let's try that. That's a train station like this. I can flip it. So, and take that out and also take this out. Actually, it's just going to be one train. Wow, that was a hell of a lot of work to redo this. Let's get a single train there and a single wagon like that, and then build this going in. There we go. So it comes in here, it fills up, this goes over here, over to the other one, just simply putting it in here. And then I will want to take the stuff that I have and then put it on top of what I already have. So this station is just going to go out. We don't need that one anymore. We are going to basically just need a train station that unloads into a stacker. There, we're gonna get the stacker here. Oh, this does not look right. Oh no. There you go. That's good. And then can I get the train station to unload on immediately in here? This is an unloader. Not quite, but close. There. I can't do that one, but it'll do this. Here. And what do I need? I need a station in front. I need a... nothing really. I just need this one to go away. So this is not the real transfer station. It is, which is a new feature, but this is just a way to transfer this in a little bit easier way. I think this one has to go out a little bit more because I will now still need to get room for my dedicated train here. That's gonna go here. It's, oh, all right, up. It's very important that you don't put something in this spot because then the trains can't flip over. And finally, all I need to do is merge it into the main line. There, and remove the old one. And of course they're going out and there's nothing to go out for yet. But there's something coming in. Let's have a look. Is it rotated correctly? It should be. Ooh, another one of these completed. Nice. And let's have a look at this outbound. We do not see that outbound yet. Why not? That one. And this is going to be on top of... Come on, give me that icon. That's so weird that I don't get it. Sometimes we just don't get this icon. Several milestones are now working in progress, and we'll just dive into this task here and just complete that. Basically what the difference is between the previous one and here is that we have the square, wedge on top. So we'll just complete this, and then while we do this, I'll just try to talk a little bit about some of the things that's implied with this. Basically what we're seeing now is that I'm not going to show everything, and the reason why I'm not going to show everything is because it's kind of the same, right? There's a lot of things here that's kind of the same, and we can just basically go here, grab some random thing and go in, and this one will then need to be rotated, so we'll just rotate it like this so that it looks here. That, oh, those are not the right ones. Ah, right, okay, so cut over here, and that should be, yes, that's the correct one, but then it needs to be rotated again here. So that needs to be merged, these two. And then you can see that things are just looking very much like what we've done about a million times before. And then a paint on top of it, and that comes from the red one, which I'll take from here because I have brought enough. Oh, right, they can't go underneath that one. And since it's the last one, we can just do it this way. So that gets us hopefully the right shape, red, and then that just needs to go all the way over here somehow and be built on top of what we already have. Just smash it on top. That's going to be 1, 2 additionally further out here. Flip goes like that, and that's not a great location, is it? Doesn't matter, because again, this is all temporary, right? As soon as this one is done, we'll delete everything. So don't care about the spaghetti, but we want to get away from this mentality of just making sort of I don't know, yeah, making spaghettis that only last for a little bit. We want to get some kind of permanence in our solution, and that's going to be one of the bigger challenges moving forward. And this one goes back, and then that one is also done, and delete it back here. Funny how the trains can jump, but the pipes and belts cannot. So yeah, okay, but trains can jump. That makes them even better. So that's taking care of this, and we are going to be looking at here. This one, oh, it's not even the last one on this sequence, but what does it do from here to here? All it does is, I think it just puts something on top. That one, yes, just put another red wedge on top of it, but flipped, and then we just have to figure out where that was located. I think it's this one, that one, yes, here. So basically, when we have this shape, I just need to jam another red wedge on top of this one. Okay. And that is here. Right. So what are we going to do in terms of... Oh, that's not even correct. It's like this. That one, because then I get another wedge. That is this one, and I'll put it down here. And this is, oops, is it the right way? No, it's not. So we just need a rotator like this, and like that one, and basically just do the same as here. But in this case, bring it in here. Like, that's as simple as that. So now we have done all of these. All of these are also working, and soon we will we'll have all of these completed, and then you can see all of this. It just looks so bad. So that is how it is when you start with trains. Trains give us a massive bonus because we still have lots of platform units remaining. We build a lot faster because we don't have to worry about like the belts going out, and we can go out as far away as we want to just find a location that has it. But we need some kind of structure, and next episode I'll show you a really cool train system that we're going to come up with that is perfect for solving these milestones quickly. So now we only have the last and final one left, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take here this one. This is also a little bit silly. All of this goes away. I basically need this one, this shape. Let's see what it is. It is a little bit different, right? It's because these two are one shape and these two are the other shape. So I'm going to bring this shape over here, and it's going to be built on a small train. So we're going to be making it first, get a little loader like that, a train station, and we'll just use the red one, and that'll be like this, and it'll be one wagon here, that one, and this will not be used anymore. So what I want is this to go over to the other location. Where is the other location? Here. Good. And then we'll figure out what happens here. This one can also just be taken away, because what is going to happen is not this part. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this here, and then I'm going to, oh, look at that. That completed. Nice, 12 points. And let's see. I am going to merge this with the stuff that comes on a train, because the star is going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to take a train station. That's going to be an unloader, which unloads straight into that one. Train station. And this one goes out. And this one goes in. Here. And let's see if that completely loads. And then I need another one of these, which will be flipped. Yeah. And then that goes up to that one. Is there anything coming in? No, not yet. But it should be. And then the only thing we need is a location here, which means I think that looks better. Or at least it's a little bit simpler. And then we use our train station blueprint like that, and not make it red, but make it, I don't know, green instead. Green, 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 and these as well. Sweet. All right, let's see and wait until it gets home, and then once it gets home, we can start sending it out. We have completed our tasks. The milestone is chugging along. The one thing that I really feel like we want is this one. We now want all of this now in, so now it's full throughput, and that means we can take this and get it a little bit out to that side, and we can take this one and get it a little bit out to the other side, and then we can get this established. Oh, that's interesting. This established here in the middle, and then that's there. There. So that means now we have a much better build for getting everything in here, and then we'll just replicate that everywhere around here. And with the final task done, all of the stuff that we built out here just go away. And it feels a little bit bad, but what we're going to do next time is we're going to build something that we will not really need to delete all the time, but it's a lot more setup, but it will just make these milestones just or the tasks to cruise through, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 available. I'll let this run, and then when we come back, we will be able to get to the next milestone, or maybe we'll use the tasks we have, because we don't really need to get into color mixing just yet. Maybe we'll take one more episode focused on the trains and then get a nice train network. Now we've seen how they work. Now we need to see how they work properly in the next episode. Until then, take care, and of course, stay effective. And remember, if you want all the blueprints that we've created this here today, then those are of course available to patron supporters, but they're also something we've compiled on camera as well. So until next time, take care and stay effective.